Good morning, everyone. I'm sitting on my balcony in Pattaya. Beautiful day. Been here a couple days now, but I couldn't keep put the gates out prior. Cleaning the room because of various people coming and going. So Daz is up with Chuck now. So by the time you see this, they will have already left and been on their road trip. So not much of a view here, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to see my friends. That Daz was coming, another friend is going. So we converged. You know, my plane was late getting to Bangkok, which meant I was late getting to Pattaya, and then barely had enough time to, freshen up, shower, and change, and head to dinner. And then there was like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. Yeah. And the groups always grow, right? You start out with 3, and then it ended up 7. And I knew everybody already, so no big deal. Lots of room. We went to Tickle Bitties. Yeah, they got. I don't know how long they've been there. Forever. Let's just say they've been there forever. Got good Thai food, good Western food, Mexican food. So anybody that you're pleased, right? You've got options. That's always a good thing. But that's basically the reason I came down, was to visit Daz before he took off on his road trip, and my other friend was going back to the States. And yeah, it's I'll tell you what, man. In the car coming here, you turned off of Sukhumvit and down Teppersit Road. Some of you are familiar with that. You've got there's a big C right on the corner. A little further, you have the Teppersit Market, a bunch of market, and the Coliseum, the DIY, and everything. But when I was about at that Coliseum place, looking out the window, I saw 6 tower cranes, all bunched together, about a kilometer, 2 kilometers away, but very prominent. Holy crap, I didn't have my camera out in time. That's 6 tower cranes. And then I found out at dinner that that's another Copacabana complex, like the one on Jomtien Beach Road, Copacabana. But the one, it's a multi-complex, right? Multi-building complex. But the highest one is going to be 60 plus floors. And they're about 28 now. That's what my other friend said, who lives in Jomtien. And he and his girlfriend. And man, I mean, I'm looking at a tower crane right now. There's a couple more over here behind me. I'm on Pratumnak Hill, at the top of Pratumnak Hill, on Soi 4, or they call it Alley 4, but it's a Soi. The reason they call it an alley is because it's a dead end. So if you go all the way down to the end of this Soi, there would be one tower condominium complex on your right, and on the left, Asia something hotel. And they have like a 9-hole par 3 golf course there at that hotel, at the other place. So just to give you an idea where I am. But I can't believe it, man. There's just up the road here, before you dump down the hill towards Pattaya, you know, there's Buddha Hill, right? Right there at that intersection. Police box, Buddha Hill. You can go down the other side of Pratumnak Hill, because there's no cross streets from where I am. There's no cross streets to what I'm looking at over here, even though it's 200 meters. There's no roads that go that way, so you got to go up and then down. I forget the name of the road, but it's traffic time can be chaotic, right? So it'd really be nice if there was a shortcut. Now you can walk. There's a couple of places you'll end up walking through somebody's yard or something, but they don't seem to care. I've done that before. A couple of complexes down 4 here, Nordic something, Nordic East, Nordic West, Nordic whatever. There's like 20 of them. You can go to the end of that, and there's a little trail. Go there, and you end up in somebody's backyard. You just say hello, and they say, "Oh, hello," and you just keep walking, and then boom, you're on the other side of it. On the cozy beach side of Proxima. But it'd be nice if there was like a road. You know, you can zip over there and meet somebody for dinner, because there's a lot of nice places over there, big and small. You know, you have all the photo, selfie, clicky places. You know, I won't name them, but you've all seen them. And some of them are, I mean, the views and the setting and all that is excellent. But to me, some of them are quite overrated. All right, you're paying for the view. You're paying for the looks, the ambiance, right? But now the food's not bad, but overrated, in my humble opinion. Not naming any names, of course. So something just beeped. I don't know what the heck that was. Anyway, I hope you can hear me, because I don't have an external mic or any of that kind of stuff yet. That's coming soon. But like I was starting to say, there's just before the police box, they've got a lot cleared out, and they're building a high-rise right there. they're at the beginning stages, so there's no tower, there's no nothing, right? But they're doing the groundwork, and it's a couple of months that we going vertical. Unbelievable. And the reason I think unbelievable is because there's thousands, literally thousands of vacant condominiums here. Like, thousands. In fact, over on the Coast Beach side of Pattaya, there's entire buildings vacant. Just, they built it, and now it's like mothball. Makes you wonder. Makes me wonder anyway. Who's hiding their money, right? Who's taking their money from their country where their economy and their currency is going to shit. We need to get it out of here now. So they come to places like this. Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, other countries. But you get more bang for your buck, right? More bang for your currency here than in like Singapore or Dubai or something like that, right? So you take your money and you bank it here, bury it here. You boom, invest it. Doesn't matter if it stays vacant forever. You'll at least get your money back. It won't be worth zero. Unless the whole world, collapses. Which there's rumor of that as well. But it's been like that since, well, I didn't notice it. I didn't pay any attention to that kind of thing when I was a kid, right? But in the late 90s, early 2000s, when I started coming regularly, or visiting, I should say, because I brought my American wife, my children, even to Pattaya. People say, "Oh my God, why would somebody bring a child to Pattaya? Oh man, they're crazy. That's abuse, right?" Shit, man. There's so many family things you could do here in Pattaya. Children are oblivious to the other side, right? To the, you could call it seedy side, you could call it the Sin City side, whatever. Doesn't matter. I mean, but my dive shop, well, I'll say our dive shop, because I had two partners, one American and one South African. We had a dive shop a scuba diving shop on Soi 13-1. Named after the Yamato family that started the restaurant. It's the Japanese restaurant at the end of the Soi, right across from the hop house, the brew house. There used to be a Starbucks on that corner back in early 2001, maybe 2002, but it's something else now. But right across from Beach Road. I probably said this before, but you had at the corner, you had bar, pharmacy, bar, local shop, bar, restaurant, bar, scuba diving shop, bar, shop, restaurant, beach. I mean, that's what it was. So after diving, we would head back to the shop, sit on the porch, and we go back to the hotel, shower up, freshen up, meet back at the shop early even, and then sit around and have some beers on the porch and just watch people go by, and then people would spin off and break off and go to dinner or stuff like that. But my kids, my children, 4 and 8 at the time, 4 and 8 years old, you know, Thais love children, so on either side of us were bars. And the ladies would, oh, you know, yeah, sure. So they'd sit them on their lap and everything, and they'd give them some candy or something. And my wife had been to Southeast Asia before as well, so she's completely mindful of what's around us, but no problem. Children at that age are oblivious to, unless you tell them, they're oblivious to the happenings around you, right? So, but you know, there's all kinds of stuff. Just to name a few, you got Sriracha Tiger Zoo, right, which has a crocodile farm there as well on a show. You could feed the crocs with a cane pole and a chicken. You know, you bought a chicken. Nong Nook, right, tropical garden. You know, Banks Array, you know, the fishing village and stuff back then. Now it's grown up. Back then, you know, really around. You go to Buddha Mountain, the real Buddha Mountain, right, the Golden Buddha. I forget the name of it, but I could see it from one of my condos when I lived in Jomtien. I was on the 47th floor of the CITES, and I could see that mountain from my porch, from my balcony. I never closed my blinds. It had a glass shower, so I could be in the shower and look through my bedroom, through out to the view, and you know, shower. But I was up so high, and there were no other high rises within half a kilometer. As soon as I got home, too much information. I got naked, right? I would shower, get the day's sweat off, no matter what time of the day it was. Sometimes 2-3 showers in a day, because you could do it. And then I just walk around the house, doing whatever I needed to do, work on the computer, whatever. I didn't give a shit. If someone was sick enough to look at me from a kilometer or half a kilometer, whatever away, they'd have to have a telescope. And more power to them. I don't care. Beluga sighting, oh my God. You know, I just did not care. And that was the first high rise I ever lived in. My entire life. Now, I had been to hotels and things like that growing up, but that was the first high rise. In fact, I thought, I did it for a month and then extended for another month, but Airbnb, because you know I was still looking, and during COVID in '01, it was 20,000 for the month, and I thought, God dang, man, that's like to me, I was going to treat myself. Okay, so I'm going to treat myself to this. I've never lived that high, you know, vertical. And man, it was awesome. I mean, seriously awesome. Great neighbors. There's one floor above me. Yeah, the view is spectacular, man. You can see all the way down to Rayon, right out loud. You see all the way down the beach, all the way, way down. Pretty cool. But then I finally found a condo I wanted to rent long term, and then I was still looking. You know, I was still linked with numerous brokers. And hey, you want to take a look at this? Want to take a look at this? So things kind of just went from there with condos. And personally, I wouldn't, I apologize, this is going to run long. I would not, it's not like the United States. I can only speak for the United States. Unless there's a housing bubble burst, right? You buy something, it's going to appreciate, right? It's going to appreciate faster than inflation, in my uneducated experience, right? So you make your mortgage payment, finally say, I want to move. So you sell it. You usually sell it for more than you paid for. It may not be a windfall, but I look at it as, well, for the last 4 or 5 years, I lived rent-free. You see? That's the way I look at it.